Raquetas. Raquetas.
Raquetas.
I still have the old version. This is my backup, and I have the new version. Actually, there's a newer version though. I'm all over the place.
I know. I've been kind of going in and out rackets too a lot lately. I bought the Gravity, played the tournament of Gravity, and then did a while.
You've always done that. You've always kind of jumped around the rackets. I've been so faithful.
But it's usually it's always between the Prestige. The Prestige is like always.
Yeah, that's your baby. That's the Prestige is your doormat.
Every time I feel like something goes off, like, you know, and I'm like, all right, I need to go back to the Prestige to clean my shit up.
Is it because that gives you like no extra benefits? It's like it's really gets an honest read on like if you're hitting the ball clean and everything.
If you're playing, you have to do everything really well to play well with it.
That's what I should start training with, because this thing like gives me so much give. I can honestly slack off my footwork and still hit a good shot with this thing, and I should probably at least train with something like that once in a while.
So I was thinking like we do a little bit of warm up, and then what do you say? We battle up a set, see how it goes.
I'm down for a set. I'm always down to compete.
Yeah,
always down to compete.
Worldwide. Do you add in your breathing workouts in your warm-ups?
It's not part of my warm-up, but I do the breath work every morning just to get myself in alkaline state and just feeling good mentally.
I mean, let's say you're gonna go for a tournament.
Yeah.
You would still do that.
Oh, I do breath work for sure. Yeah.
So you technically, as someone, you need to do that.
It's honestly just something I do every day because I know that I'm gonna feel better. So,
with or without tennis.
With or without tennis, yeah. No matter what I'm gonna do that day, I'm gonna do the breath work.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'd say,
This is definitely what people have. Started getting a little deeper into the breath work, like football training, like that. Applies the breath work directly to athletics.
Yeah, dude, another perfect aim to the barber, man.
I can tell these are fast.
I'm glad the back of this cord isn't wet. Usually it is.
Alex and I talked about warm-up situation, and then also with full activation. We can only do a bunch of warm-up. But
Yeah.
I feel like when you do it throughout the week, like if you just, let's say you've done already like 12 hours of exercise throughout the week, you've activated on, Monday, Tuesday, you've done the workouts.
Yeah.
It feels like on Friday, Saturday, by the time that comes, you're pretty on.
Yes. Definitely.
It looks like your warm-ups are a little shorter, tend to be, like it's more like that just a little blood flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think of that?
I think that, yeah, I mean.
Or do you think every day has to be like the exact same?
I think that there are certain muscles that just don't, for whatever reason, you haven't activated in a while. And there does need to be a little emphasis on activating those muscles. Like I know for a while, I avoided doing any chest stuff for a long time because of my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got back to doing a little bit of chest, like I was still using, like my chest didn't know how to fire.
Really?
So I had to go back to kind of some lighter weights and just like more like full motions and stuff, and just kind of really then consciously focus on like that muscle firing. So I think that if your muscle isn't used to firing, then it definitely requires activation more often. And then so I think given that theory, throughout the week, if you're activating consistently, then probably it takes less for it to start firing.
Okay, bell out a set,
Yeah, let's do set, man.
and then we'll
You want
see how it goes.
beer or wine?
Beer or wine?
Beer or wine?
Wine.
It's a very moosh answer. It's wine.
It's wine. All the way over to seat.
All right. I take this side. Yeah. Shot.
Oh yeah.
kind of unsettled. I feel like I've been working on like being just trying to something like really like solid, consistent, but then I've been hitting with players who don't really hit as well as you, and so then I'm kind of like guiding, and then like I'm trying to overcorrect or something.
That's exactly how
That's
I
how I
feel.
feel.
People are pushing a lot. Luckily, last month I've been playing a lot. Like I played a tournament and everything.
Yeah.
When I was coaching throughout the summer, dude, I could not play. Everything is slow. It's like because you're teaching a lot.
I feel really good at like really solid at like a slower pace, but definitely like I'm a little bit like settling into this pace.
The hand-eye coordination, the serve returns.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like a little less like comfortable.
Yeah.
At this level, but you know, it's I'll get it going. I think the serve started firing in that last game, so it's a good sign.
Yeah, like nice big 3 aces. There's no way I can return those.
I needed that. God.
So high up.
What?
Your surf comes so high up.
Just trying to get out of your strike zone, man. Are you still doing the warrior diet?
Not as much.
What was that? That was like that was like fast all day and then just like.
Yeah, so I was eating a 4-hour window. I was doing that for almost like 8 months.
Wow.
To a year. Honestly, that was the fittest I was.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you showed up one time, seen you in a couple months, and you were just shredded.
Yeah, so I was doing that routine in the morning. I'll wake up like to 9 to whatever, go train, and I'm like dehydrated, dead tired. So it's 2 p.m. and then I start eating at 2.
Yeah.
Like from 2 to 6, and I'll sleep by like 9. You know.
Just gorge from 2 to 6.
Yeah, like I didn't like care what I ate because at that point my stomach is so small.
Yeah, you've already burned so much
I
fat.
cannot, even if I wanted to eat over like 2,000 calories, I really couldn't.
Right.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
try to eat 2,000 calories in one sitting. It's very impossible. Unless you're eating like a jar of Nutella. That's a different story, you know?
Yeah. Or
But,
like in your growth spurt in your teeth.
yeah, like a moderately healthy food, there's no chance you could eat that much in one sitting. So that was a great part about it. I'm just such a glutton, you know? I just love food. But then I transitioned into doing more of a 8-hour window.
Okay, that's what I do. I'm like,
So I eat at 11.
yeah.
And then I'll make a little snack in between, and then I'll have like a dinner at like by the time it's 6 o'clock.
Nice.
And I'm done.
Yeah, I usually fast till noon.
Noon.
Fast till noon, yeah. I have like MCT oil, like bulletproof coffee type.
That thing helps you go on for the whole day, like the
Yeah.
MCT oil and all that.
Well, it just gets you running on ketones, on
Yeah.
fat, instead of like craving these like glycogen spikes and carbs.
But honestly, like, I mean, when I was doing all that stuff, I wasn't really competing much because, you know, the whole COVID situation. But I realized I do need some form of carbs if I'm going to play a match.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
the
oh,
nerves,
absolutely.
You know, training, you can go with fat
Right.
and empty, but like match, you need
Yes.
carbs for like that.
Well,
fast,
yeah, you need
know?
that fast
Yeah.
absorbing energy, easy to use. That's like the one time, you know, those simple carbs are actually
Yeah.
like pretty beneficial.
Mhm.
I mean, as long as you also have the endurance base and like
You know what's really good for
something
that
you've
stuff?
broken down throughout.
Yeah, what's really good for us is like dried blueberries.
Really?
Yeah, like dried fruits.
Why dried?
Well, I mean, you can have it normal.
Mhm.
It's just to dried, I think. I don't know why exactly, just because you can just have it on you all the time.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have to be like cold or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can put it in like
Does it have to rot?
in a fridge.
No, I was just
Bag.
wondering if there was something to do with like the breaking down in your body that like changed.
No,
from
well, all I
drying
know
down.
is like obviously it doesn't have the water in it. Obviously, it's dried up,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not as hydrating.
Yeah.
But you can just keep it in your bag for a week and you're fine, you know.
Yeah, travel
that's
on
the good
tour
thing
with it a
about
little bit.
Yeah. Dried fruit and nuts, so
Yeah.
you can good source of carbs.
Definitely. Well, yeah.
Good old basic trail
That's
mix.
for fat too. Yeah. Just gotta do one without M&Ms because
So you,
I'll just eat the
you
M&Ms.
stay on
all
that
the time.
diet every day?
That's when I'm at my best. Yeah, I've been like the last few weeks I've been back on it completely.
Yeah.
But like just if I find that if I'm like just bulletproof coffee until like noon, just
How
like
do you make it though?
I usually do. I have like the Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee, lion's mane one, and then I have some just MCT oil, and I pour that in there, just a few squirts, and then a little cinnamon, and just stir it all up, and then maybe a little oat milk or something. It's super good.
So it's basically it's about 200 calories or so at most.
I don't know.
Because I know that a tablespoon of MCT is about 140.
Okay. Yeah.
So then if you look at, I don't know, oat milk, maybe like another 20. So yeah, it's about 200 almost.
Something like that. Yeah.
So still consider fasting, 'cause you're not. I
Yeah.
always find every time I stay under 500, I still relatively feel like I'm fasting, you know,
Yeah.
around those calories.
I find like I'm noticeably leaner when I'm doing that. Like
Yeah.
that's like the only way for me to lose like those last like little bit of belly fat too.
You gain weight easy?
I don't. I just kind of like I like to hold on to like a little bit here.
A little bit,
I like
yeah.
a little belt, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Same here.
I like a little belt. But if I fast, I can trim down and then it's a better sight.
Do you know who's
And,
been on doing that
yeah.
stuff a lot? Who lost a lot of weight?
Yeah.
Tassilo.
Really?
I got him into it. I'm like, hey, listen, man, you should do this intermittent fasting. So
Yeah.
he did it for. He was working out, cycling, and so he's like, I'm not eating till lunchtime, you know, before he would eat breakfast. And dude, like after 3 months, the guy lost like 10 pounds. Like
I bet.
Yeah.
I
So
bet. I mean, especially with like the MCT, it actually gets you like burning. It teaches your body to burn fat.
You don't feel
know?
hungry too.
Yeah.
With a coffee mix.
Yeah, we talked about activating muscles, like activating fat burning. You know, that's our bodies are so accustomed to running on carbohydrates, you know, sugars, and then if we kind of tease it into working on fats, then it can be more efficient. Yep. Very close. Yeah, forehand was feeling shit.
So when do you officially start the whole SB Academy?
So back in March, when the pandemic happened, I was living down in LA and coaching down there, and then
because I know you were in with crew, right? In that department you guys were at.
Yeah, we were living down in the South Bay there.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was good. Things were going well, but the pandemic hit. I really kind of had to scramble, and I ended up leaving there, coming back home to Santa Barbara, and just kind of ended up starting completely my own thing, just because, just kind of, I don't know, it just worked out that way. I had my extended family has a condo here that just happened to be just kind of sitting there, so I got to kind of like regroup there for a bit. I was able to board some players here, and just kind of, you know, just train them, build my philosophy a little bit deeper, and study, and ended up, the kids in town ended up like, you know, noticing that we were training every day, and like just wanted to start a treat about coming out, and we kind of started to build like a real high performance group, or something that hadn't really existed here for a long time. There was a lot of clinics and stuff that would pop up here and there, but like no one had really come in a while and just been like, all right, this is a high performance elite training opportunity, and like
a lot of those players I saw follow on Instagram, they're really good.
They're solid, yeah. We got a good range of level. I mean, we got guys who
like 10s, 11s, guitars, 12s.
Yeah, it's a lot of players in there. A lot of players looking to play D1 or D3. A couple standouts, and it's great. We had we have a good group, and it's created a nice community here for them to just see each other each day, play, improve, learn. A lot of them haven't done a whole lot of fitness before, so that's something I've been incorporating in a lot, as well as also the
What are the age ranges like?
The age range is usually 14 to 20 or so.
20.
14
Okay,
to 20.
so like usually the younger ones haven't done much of fitness, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where for them it's like a big boost for tennis.
It's all new. Yeah, it's all new, and it's cool too when you like get someone training like who've just kind of been hitting around for a while, who had some talent. You get them training every day in like a controlled environment with a coach, and then get them doing fitness. Suddenly their level just takes off.
Yeah.
It's not even that much credit to the coach as long beyond just holding the structure, you know, because they suddenly have this environment to thrive, and that's been super rewarding watching them do that. Also with just mentally, you're challenging yourself. Fitness is hard. A lot of these kids haven't like really pushed themselves that hard before, and had to like dig deep within themselves. And the fitness really teaches that, you know, if you have your players around you pushing beyond, you don't want to be the guy to quit.
Yeah.
So just teaching that,
And
instilling
then there's
that
multiple
value.
kids, right? It's not just individual.
Yeah.
So that usually is
The group's
competitive.
key.
And then,
That's what I miss about this, man. That's what I miss about
The
college
Pepperdine,
tennis. Yeah, like
I was telling that to my friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, I miss the whole team aspect of it, and then the banter, you know, because it keeps you on point, you know.
Yeah. Also, I've never worked so hard in fitness as when there's the guy like snapping at my heels, we're on the track, or like we're on the bike and we got to get to 4 miles before the other guy, and like that as a competitive person, that motivated me.
Yeah. So what else? So obviously, fitness seems like a big component in the academy. What else? What else do you incorporate, like from your lifestyle to your students?
So I'd say what kind of separates our academy from most others is a couple things. So one, I'm really big into working out in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also perfect with the pandemic too, because a lot of the gyms are closed.
Yeah.
But I do have a little gym space, but I choose to like 90% of the time do mostly like beach workouts or run trails, hills, work out in a field, like by the beach. Just, I think that being out in nature and having that environmental conditioning and connecting to nature and just being outside. I mean, these kids spend so much time, I spend so much time on my laptop, on my phone, and I think it's just great to just be outside, especially in a beautiful place like Santa Barbara, you know,
Yeah,
where
it's
you
gorgeous.
just take advantage of it, you know, like you'll never catch me on a damn treadmill, you know, I'm not, when there's all these trails out here, like why would I ever run on a treadmill? Would I ever run on a treadmill, as Adam Steinberg would say. But I've ran on a treadmill since 1969. Yeah, so that outdoor component's key, and then that kind of feeds into the whole holistic side of the program. I really value using meditation, mindfulness,
I saw you
exercises.
posted some of the breathing exercises you do. But if you do that like as a part of a warm-up or something, or no?
We use that for the fitness oftentimes, or as after, just kind of as like I use it in a few different opportunities.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like in the beginning of a practice, they're all coming from school and then finals week, whatever. You know how it is. You step on the court and it's hard to detach from the rest of the world. So sometimes we'll do like some breathing exercises, whether it's just focusing on your breath, something as simple as that, or going a little bit deeper with Wim Hof method, where you're doing like very deep kind of deep breaths and going very quickly and getting into more of a altered, relaxed state. We'll do that sometimes, like in our workouts. We'll also finish with that, just kind of so I can leave just feeling a little more relaxed and kind of centered. Or we'll use it in a performance way, like I mentioned earlier with the power breathing.
Right.
I'll have them do some like insane cardio where they have to really push their VO2 max, and then in the recovery I'll have them do some power breathing, like 3 rounds of 30 to 50 power breaths, and really try to replenish that oxygen and carbon dioxide level, and be able to then do the next super tough cardio exercise and actually push their VO2 max further. So if their VO2 max is your max oxygenation in the blood and that you're capable of using, and so the power breathing has a profound effect on that. So you're actually able to push yourself and go get more out of your workout, having done the breath work prior. So I use that as more of just a performance-based side. But yeah, it's all about the physiology and trying to scientifically optimize the body while also taking into perspective that it's a whole person.
Yeah.
It's a whole person. You got to keep them in a good mental state.
Good
and
balance. It's almost like yin and yang. Like you're pushing the
Yes,
yang so much.
100%.
The yang is just 100.
Yes.
The yin is nothing. It's
Dude,
like,
yes,
It's
yes.
like, what's going on?
100% relate to that. Dude, that's been a concept I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah. The yin and yang. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
in that regard too, in the training regard.
As far as the body.
Well, just in training, because I'm so the yang comes so naturally to me. I will happily. You would say, let's run up a mountain. Let's run up a fucking mountain. Let's go. But then you want to stretch for 5 minutes afterwards. Like I'm already ready to go. But that's why I've suffered with injuries. That's like that's why I run myself down sometimes. Like that. You gotta have both. I think that's why when I found mindfulness and just like learning how to focus on your breath and just meditate, like that was like such a profound experience for me, because it was so foreign concept.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you're very yang. You're like active on. So I think for
that's
you,
the predisposition.
what boosts you up is once you realize, hey, there's this part of me that needs to kind of, I guess, calm down or tame.
Yeah.
You know.
So this goes into something that I've been working with a lot with just my own like spirituality is so definitely like I need the mindfulness, I need the yoga, I need all that stuff that just lets me just be in and relax. But and there's definitely has a place for that. But as far as like reaching higher heights of spirituality and just like feeling more connected, I found because I have more of a yang predisposition that tantra is tantra is
what
like
is
so tantra is more of a yang type of spirituality. So tantra is like going. So if mindfulness and yoga is like going back into the moment. So like I'm thinking I'm doing. Oh wait, let's pause. Let's go back to the moment, right? And it's like coming back. It's all right. Even tantra is like going with full consciousness into whatever you're doing. So it's like so I might be having a yang moment, like where I'm like, I'm
tunnel vision kind of.
It's kind of like, yes, it's like just I am fully consciously experiencing this movement, this going. I'm becoming the feeling of my feet hitting the pavement as I'm running. Like I'm becoming the view as I look out over the horizon. It's there's no dualism.
What's an example of that even, for example?
So tantra,
or do you kind of try to incorporate in a lot of things you do?
So it's really, it doesn't have a place necessarily. I mean, there is where it's been popularized and what people associate with the word tantra. They think of tantric sex. They think of tantric sex,
right,
which is like, okay, you're having. I mean, there's all types of things.
That's an easy way to do it, I guess.
It's a very quick way for spirituality. It's easy to go into the moment, right? It's very easy to be like, all right, like I, just become the caress.
Definitely you lose yourself.
Yes, ideally, yes. I mean, I think a lot of people do struggle with their ego in sex, and I know I've definitely been there as well. And I think a lot of men in our society are like, feel pressure in sex to like perform, or like women also just associated with sex.
It's not easy to let go.
Yeah, but if you can have that total let go in sex, then that's a very spiritual experience. I'm not saying that's the only way to practice tantra. Tantra also can just be like, if you're eating, it's a pleasurable thing to do is eat. Just become the taste. There's no dualism. There's no separateness between you and the taste you're experiencing. That explosion.
It kind of reminds me how when I would get like these massages, like these deep tissue massages. I mean, for me, it was just the masseuse told me just go hard.
Yeah, just go hard in the pain.
As hard as you can, because then for me it just took away all my thoughts and put it into that particular part that they were pressing on.
Wow.
And so for me, I have no other choice at that. It's kind of obviously it's a little forced, but I have no choice but to, let's say if my quads would get tight, and obviously my back was not as much, but my quads and my calves, holy hell, because as a tennis player, these get really tense.
Yeah.
So when they went deep into these, and I'm just like trying to focus on breathing, but it's very difficult when you're feeling like a 8 out of 10 pain. And I'm like, my entire attention is just there. Like I'm feeling the pain. I am the pain. I forget that I'm on a bench. I forget.
Just become the sensation.
Yeah, with the pain, I'm also feeling a release.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just interesting. Like I know it's good for me.
Okay. Yes, you're on point. So with tantra, they talk about like going into emotions. So instead of like, with yoga, or meditation, it's more like, all right, you're feeling a certain way, like don't associate it, just kind of go back to the breathing, which is tough for me, honestly. I like the tantric approach is to just like become the pain and let it or become the anger and let it dissipate. You don't have to, like, you can.
So that's very yang, I guess.
Yes, like you can pick up a brick and throw it out of anger. You don't have to hit someone with it. You can still just let it. You can get rid of it.
Yeah.
So that's a big component of tantra.
So you use any of that in your students at all?
I try to, not so much. I get them more. It's kind of an advanced like way of thinking about it. Like, hey, if I'm just like, hey kid, become the view. Like he's gonna like, what are you talking about? But I do try to introduce them to being more present through just starting with focusing on your breath. See if you can keep track and count your breaths, or do the breath work and find that more low stress state, which hopefully leads to more of like an awakened being. But I haven't gone fully into and spelled out like the tantra quite belief into it, but I think that would be something that could be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in the sport of tennis, going back to the whole yin and yang, I like to incorporate the shadow aspect the way that Carl Jung goes about it. And in a very similar like a relationship, when you play out there, it's how well you manage your relationship with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like how the yin is your fitness.
Right.
The yang.
Yeah.
And the yin is how are you seeing the sport?
Yeah.
How slow can you be mentally?
Yeah.
You know, picturing
Present,
the ball, seeing the guy's movements, being the present, the stillness. You know,
Mhm.
how well is your shadow playing with your
Yeah.
with your self? You
Yeah.
know, so it's like, can I stay very on, like fired up, active, ready to go? At the same time, up here,
Yeah.
you know, can I
Yes.
still very still? And the better this yin and yang
Yeah.
within yourself is operating,
That's so true.
you start to perform better.
That's true. And whenever you're in that flow state,
Yeah.
everything is just way slower.
Flow, yeah.
It's
Some people
just-
call it flow,
Yeah.
or you know.
But that's true. Like that's it's slow. It's a slow feeling when you're in that peak performance flow state. You're
Yeah.
just like you just become like
Perception of time completely
Yeah.
changes. And you look at like animals; they're in that state all the time, and they have to be because they're hunting for food. And then going
Yeah,
back
it's
to
real.
the whole, I think, the whole fasting,
Mm.
it really puts you in that state.
yeah.
You know, because your body's on, but you go into this default state where you become aware of everything around you because you're kind of subconsciously looking for energy, and you're also being like you're not being wasteful of energy because you don't have any excess, like you haven't eaten.
Yeah.
You know, and at the same time your body's turned on.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, I'm a little sketched about the. I think our permit's expired. Our parking permit's expired by now.
The what?
The parking permit. And sometimes the
pretty
cops
bad.
are kind of sticklers around here.
Yeah, they do.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
But should we book it and get some lunch?
Yeah, maybe let's. Dude, I have a bomb ass breakfast burrito place around here with like you get like a veggie breakfast burrito with like avo on a spinach wrap, and they have protein shakes and smoothies and juices. You guys should go to. It's called Super Kukas, and I don't work for them.
Super Kukas?
But I wish I did because I'd probably get some free shit. But they know my name, they know my order, so
Yeah.
we should go there.
Good stuff.
All right, dude, that was fun.